question. Yes, sir.
I'm Mike May. I'm Staten Island anarchist. I know a few of the people here. I like the way Daniel called consumer education. I mean, that's basically the direct action that y'all are doing in front of the restaurants to let the customers know, you know, what's at stake here and why y'all are protesting. And I haven't been able to make it out to any of the protests. I know y'all have been doing this for probably a period of a couple of years, so I commend y'all on that. Direct action resulting in consumer education is that's a great tactic to use to let people know that you can do something that's nonviolent to actually get your issues addressed. I think it's also worth noting that y'all have been engaged in this campaign since before the recession officially started. I just wanted to ask y'all three if you feel like that gave the people y'all are organizing at the different food warehouses more solidarity, because y'all had actually started to form a bond before the financial meltdown started. Do you think that played in the workers' favor? It seems to me as a generality, it seems like it did.
Okay, let me translate. A él le gusta la táctica, dar educación a los clientes de los restaurantes. Es su comentario, su pregunta es cómo afecta el crisis económica la situación entre los trabajadores, como el sentimiento.
Bueno, a ningún patrón le gusta que estén allí enfrente a su restaurante. Entonces ellos cuando les hablamos nos dicen, ok, vamos a ayudarles en la situación que se encuentran, y ellos nos dan el apoyo.
No boss likes it when you stand in front of their restaurant and you know, educate their customers. So
as they're losing all the dollars that are flying out of the restaurant.
Sí. Cuando están perdiendo el dinero, los dueños no les gusta. So we've won their support that way.
That's fantastic.
That's fantástico.
One other quick thing.
¿Algo más?
Like the Wobblies have actually won some court battles. The NLRB has found in your favor. How are companies like the Wild Edibles reacting to that? And one last thing, I agree with Benjamin that it's good to see the owner get hurt as opposed to sticking it to the workers who have the most to lose and aren't even responsible for the policies. I agree with Ben, the hurt should actually go on the owner.
Always.
Okay, let me add, Liberty, did you have a response to his first question regarding the crisis effect on worker solidarity?
Oh, I think I already said it.
Okay, so I'll just say a brief word, and then I'll ask Liberty to speak about the Starbucks situation. But just in the situation of Wild Edibles, the labor board complaints against Wild Edibles have done nothing to decrease the anti-union activity, the organizing activity. And it's a major indictment of the current state of the law for workplace organizing, that you can be a repeat offender and just time and time again violate rights, and you get a slap on the wrist. You know, it's really a very sad state of affairs. And I'm sure people are hearing about the Employee Free Choice Act and may have differing opinions on differing provisions in the act. But one thing I hope all of us can unequivocally really get behind is the provision which would, not enough in my view, but would strengthen to some extent the penalties for union busting in certain situations, in a new organizing context and in a first contract fight. So I mean, I can't tell you how frustrating it is to go through and you know, prevail in a case and, you know, win, quote unquote, and have a company like Wild Edible just absolutely not change their conduct in any way at all. Zero. And the situation for immigrant workers that don't have documents, the situation is even worse. because of a Supreme Court case called Hoffman Plastic. In certain situations, when an undocumented worker is fired, they're not able to win back pay or reinstatement, meaning in many cases they can't get their job back and they can't get any money at all. In those situations, literally, the only sanction on the employer is putting a piece of paper on the wall saying, "I won't do it again." It's not a hyperbole. That is the totality of the punishment for the employer. So it's very frustrating. It's a completely broken labor law system, and I hope whatever advocacy agenda everyone has in their lives, I just really hope you'll include this particular pointer in your advocacy, that really the labor law is so woefully broken, and it just absolutely does not protect against the discrimination against union supporters. So.